technically all this shit, like feminism and all this stuff, technically since our society is now women have to stand up more and now they're providing for their men, technically now we do have to prove our value because in society now things are kind of more balanced.
But you guys fail to realize you guys give us our value.
Right. And like
you guys are the reason why we are the way we are.
And how much work we even put into that value, quote unquote. Like, what are you saying? My looks? Like, we came here all dolled up? Like,
exactly. And, and also, like, our appearance, like, taking care of ourselves is expensive.
I understand that. But what I'm trying to explain is that when a woman turns 18 years old, right, and she's attractive, she effectively has the world at her fingertips. It's up to her how she wants to move with that, right? Some girls are smart and they get married young to a successful guy and they're able to build a family and, you know, they were able to cash out their chips while they were up, and then other women kind of want to play the game and stay in the casino a little bit longer, and then they wait till they're in their 30s and then they're not able to get the same caliber of guy that they were able to get 10 years prior. So it's up to the girl to kind of spend her money the way she wants, but I always kind of liken it to women being trust fund babies and men are self-made millionaires. So women get their money up front.
Right. But
So,
I would also say 18 years old May looks completely different than what I look like now.
Right.
My attractiveness, that's kind of how I built myself up over the years. I wasn't like, 18, beauty queen, like standing
yeah,
here.
but there's biological indicators that just make a woman inherently attractive.
Right.
Once they hit 18.
Between 18 and 24. Like, I know some girls say, well, I'm more hot at 27, you know, because you're looking at other things, but men and women are very different. What men find beautiful and what men are most attracted to might not necessarily align with what women find attractive. Does that make sense?
But I think you're talking about physical appearance again, and even my mindset shifting from like going from 18 to 23.
But physical appearance is the predominant
what you
category that men find.
But that's your opinion, you know. A lot of I wouldn't want to marry a guy who wants to marry an 18-year-old. You know what I mean?
That's
because my brain is not even developed yet.
Hold on, that's not an opinion. That's a fact. Men universally prefer women between 18 and 24.
That's
not
not
just
true. I disagree.
Sorry, ladies. Actually, that was my question of tonight. So, ladies, do you think women over 35 should be taken seriously for a long-term relationship?
Yeah,
with a high-value man?
Yes.
Because you girls
how old are you?
Wait, hold on.
Like you're asking
You
for
girls are what? What's?
I'm almost 30 years old.
Okay, so 29 and you're
22.
Okay.
23.
So should a guy take it seriously if you're single and then you're 35?
Men do take me seriously.
A high value guy, like
A high value fucking man. I know many high value men who would actually think it's disgusting to date such a girl whose brain is not even developed yet.
Stop the cap.
Okay. How about you?
I feel like it all has to come with like comparison to mindset. You know, if you feel like you're compatible with a 19-year-old, go ahead, marry her. But if you feel like you're not compatible, like mentally wise, like goal wise or family oriented wise, then don't. But honestly, some girls, they marry at 19. What? To be separated or divorced at what, 25, 26? And now you just like lost value because you were already married and divorced.
Okay.
You know, so it all depends.
I'd argue a woman that got married young and gets divorced later on has more value than a girl that's been single that entire time.
Wait, what makes a girl valuable?
Why
though?
is that?
Exactly.
See?
What?
There you go. There we go. Like, see, this is.
I'm confused.
I was saying that comment because I've lived through it, that I've seen women marry this person from the ground where they have nothing, and then that person gets successful. That person gets successful, and then they leave her for a younger girl.
All right, hold on. Let me ask y'all a question, because this is gonna really these answers you guys are giving is very telling. So, who do you think has more value in the dating marketplace? A girl that was married at, let's say, 18 and gets divorced at 25 and was with that guy the whole time, or a girl that's 25 years old that was single those 7 years?
So you're saying values the fact that
I don't view
Hold on. Please answer the question.
I don't view the dating scene as marketplace.
That's where, okay, anyway.
It's not a shopping spree.
It is. We are all here competing to a degree. That's just how it is. Because if you want a man, especially a guy that's more attractive, that by definition means you're taking him from another female, which means you're in competition, whether you want to accept it or not. There's not enough good-looking, attractive men that have their shit together to go around.
You're right about that.
There's always going to be competition.
So if you have one, by definition, you took him from someone else.
Yeah.
So let's go back to what I was saying. Who do you think has more value in the dating marketplace, okay? A 25-year-old woman that was single those 7 years from 18 to 25, or a woman that was married those years and got divorced at 25? Who do you think is going to be more attractive to the man? I don't care about your opinion.
Does she have kids or no?
No kids. We'll start here. Or work our way around.
I think the single one.
The single one, okay. What about you?
Same. Single one.
Wow. Okay.
The one who's never been with someone.
Yeah.
The one that was single the whole time?
Yes.
What about you?
Single.
What about you?
The single girl.
Wow, you guys are all dead wrong. Incredible.
He set us up.
That's your personal
this goes to show.
opinion.
I've said this before, and I'm going to say it again. Most women don't really know what men want.
No.
We don't.
You guys don't know what you want.
Zero clue.
Men are from Mars, women are from Venus.
You guys don't know what you want.
Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. Like men, right? Like this is the thing, right? So like with men, if a man doesn't understand what women want, there's a consequence. You're not attractive. Girls don't take you seriously. They don't want to date you. You're basically involuntary celibate. Women, on the other hand, they might not understand men, but it doesn't matter because guys are going to come up to them anyway. Ladies, if I was to ask most guys, they would prefer to be with the girl that was married at one point and got divorced and doesn't have kids versus the girl that was single all those years. Because we know if she was married all that time, she probably wasn't around doing, being promiscuous. The likelihood of her being promiscuous goes down.
See, but I thought of it more as like if you were.
No
A girl that's been single for 7 years is a huge red flag versus a girl that was married for a prolonged period of time and ended up divorcing the guy.
What about if it's a girl that's been in relationships and is not willing to settle for this person,
Well, knowing the way that modern day women date, a lot of the times, there'll be flings here, there'll be a relationship here, maybe a one night stand here, girl trips here, blah, blah, blah. Like in that 7-year span, she probably had more interactions with the opposite gender than the woman that was married to the guy. So a better candidate that men would preferably pick is probably the woman that was married for 7 years that wasn't single and on the market for all that time.
Yeah.
But that's your concern, is that she was sleeping around during those 7 years, but that was prior to you.
Yeah, why does that matter?
Why does it matter?
I mean, and again, we're implying
hold
that
on, let me ask you a question.
Well,
Stop
one
the
second.
show.
Hold on. Because I wasn't. Hold on.
You gotta finish your point.
Yeah, I'm gonna finish my point because you're assuming that she's going around sleeping with people, but like as someone who is single, the last time I hooked up with a guy was months ago.
Stop the cap.
No, it's true.
Yeah,
She actually said it backstage. She said it backstage.
I work so many hours in the week, and then I go to the jet. Like I take care of myself. When you're young, you want to build yourself up to get these high value men, because if I'm taking care of myself, I'll be able to attract somebody who is the same way. So I'm not going around, even in Miami, like that wasn't our concern. We were in the club, we were hanging out with each other. Like you can ask Charlie, he's back there somewhere. Like we were, the three of us were just like in our own little world, in our own little bubble, not with men, not talking to guys, not trying to fuck someone. Am I bi? No.
Yeah. Okay, so this is a perfect example of solipsism, which means the world kind of revolves around me. Do you think other women are exercising that discipline that you're exercising?
But you're thinking women
Answer
are
the
all
question.
the same.
I'm not saying that, but you think most women that are doing the things that we described are not having sex?
Are you able to speak for most women? Like, do you have a statistic somewhere that says most women go to the club and fuck someone?
The world operates on generalities typically. So what I'm asking you simply is that, do you think most women that live that kind of lifestyle are as disciplined as you?
I don't know. I can't speak for most women.
Okay. Well, the answer is no, which is why you're flexing it right now.
But how do you know? That's my question. Is how do you know?
Because when a girl, right? It's just numbers. If a girl's going out all the time, she's around men all the time, she's partying, she's doing things, blah, 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 the likelihood of her getting into sexual interactions with men goes up significantly based on the interactions that she has with men. It's just simple numbers. So I know what you're saying. Well, I'm disciplined. I'm not necessarily hooking up with the guys that I meet at the club, blah, blah. Cool. That might be you. Okay.
Yeah, that's her choice. That's
fantastic. But let me tell you this. Just because you guys don't doesn't mean most girls that come to Miami aren't.
But we're also not speaking for those girls either.
I
think this is us talking.
Yeah, I get that, but you got to understand that your personal experience might not necessarily be indicative of how things go.
But then their personal experience isn't indicative of ours either.
Wait, but you
can't compare us just because of them.
But also, I think girls would rather hook up with the same person over and over and over than get new bodies every
Definitely
single time.
sex is better with someone you know.
Your biggest concern should be the girl going back to the same guy rather than the girl going to other
But that
people.
does not change the fact that girls go on girls trips and do certain things to open themselves up to other potential mates that might be of higher status or whatever. Girls like to go to travel, go to different places because they're kind of able
to. We wouldn't have to do that if you guys were doing your job.
Like, there's guys in Philly. I don't have to go to a new city to find someone to hook up with.
Just because I'm in a relationship, I need to be locked up.
Ladies. When we're having conversations, we're talking about generalities. Just because you guys might not do something doesn't mean that other women aren't.
Correct.
Most girls that come to Miami on a girls trip are coming here to get fucked. Just because you guys aren't does not necessarily mean that
I think you're projecting.
Are you in the airport?
You're projecting.
Can you please stop interrupting? But that does not necessarily mean, just because you're not doing it doesn't mean that a majority of women aren't coming here to do it.
Yeah.
But how do you know that is my question.
Because
where are you getting that from? Who told you that?
Social media.
Majority of women that are coming to Miami are coming here to get fucked. I don't think so.
No.
You don't think so?
Is it Miami specifically, you think, or is it just girls trip in general? Like, what if we were going to...
Typically when girls go on girls trips to Miami, Las Vegas, to Nashville,
So
any of these party cities, right?
Yeah.
In a group,
It's the party city.
they're there to party and have a good time, and sex is a component of that. Now, just because you guys might not do that doesn't necessarily mean that other girls won't. Let's say 10 girls go on girls trips, right, in different groups. Your group might not do it, but the other 7 or 8 probably will be doing it.
So as a guy, you're going into a club. How do you know which girl is or isn't? Like,
I mean, just talk to them.
that's
If-
right.
You
So
see it off the rip. Like, can you see it in their eyes?
So going back to what you were saying, Chris, sorry to interrupt, is you were looking around the room when you're seeing the red flags. So looking at us 3 and what I just told you, you wouldn't have known that by looking at us, would you? So you're saying that's what it takes is the conversation.
Basically, if I'm in a club, right, and I see you like you're 3, right, and I see you like a bunch of girls, right, talk to the girls, like, you know, I've built my value up or whatever. She mentioned that you know, most girls want to fuck one guy or a high value guy. So it's like guys will see signs, right? So, hey, what's your number? What's going on? And guys would hit up every girl. Hey, what are you up to? What are you up to? What are you up to? And then whoever bites, like a fisherman, like if I'm throwing a cast, and then whoever bites, like we're fucking. And you know, lo and behold, like I've had to, you know, double book and hey, Chris, where are you? I had a girl over, like, yeah, I'm busy, I see you, and that's what happens. But I've worked hard to get to a certain point where I can double book, more or less, because there was one point where I was not fucking Miami for at least 2 years.
So question for you, do you think more often than not women do bite? So everybody that you meet at the club?
Oh yeah, because you know, at the end of the day, if you're in a club with your girls and then, you know, you don't want to be bought at the club, because if I had a section and I see you and then I'm like trying to, you know, talk to you or whatnot, and you're like, nah, yeah, whatever, it's bitch, get out my section, you know what I'm saying? So it's more or less you would definitely fall into, you know, into the guy who's trying to talk to you.
Yeah.
And here's the other thing too. Like, I get it. You guys are saying, well, not every girl that comes to Miami wants to fuck. Here's the thing. Let's just use common sense here. If you're drinking alcohol, you're around your friends. Maybe there's drugs involved. You're around guys that have money and status, right? And these guys are looking to smash. And you know that, okay, if we don't give it up, they're probably going to kick us out their section, or I won't be allowed to have certain experiences. Yeah. That happens a lot of times because a lot of guys that come here on some type of timing. So if you don't want to do it and you're not interested, you might get kicked out the section. So a lot of girls will be like, you know what, man, we're here to have fun, etc. Oh, we're gonna make it happen. So does every group of girls come here just to get smashed? No, but I would argue a staggering majority definitely do come here to be able to have fun without discretion, without being judged or whatever. And it is what it is. I mean, just because y'all don't do it doesn't mean that a majority of girls aren't.
So, but I think guys that are at the clubs and they're buying these sections purposely to get women into them, are these those high value guys that you're talking about? Like, would a high value man go to a club just to fill it with like 15 bitches that he might fuck maybe 1 or 2 or 3?
Some might, yeah. Some guys might want to come down here on vacation.
Okay, so
what's your definition of a high value man?
High value man versus high value woman. Because in my head, if I want to date a high value man, it would not be a guy that I met through a club because he's trying to fill it up with a bunch of girls. A man that I would consider high value would not do that.
Yeah, why are you in the club?
Yeah, why in the club?
To have fun with the girls.
Nothing to do with the play. Would a high value man be in the club?
Hell yeah, to fuck bitches.
No. So a high value man would not care about fucking a bunch of bitches.
Because a high value man buys for the table.
Well, another thing too, you got to remember is that there's no such thing as a high value woman on her own. A high value woman is deemed high value for being with a high value man.
That's insanity.
It's insanity.
So I have you say
it's very simple.
A woman who can get stuff on her own.
Hold on, finish your sentence, please. So you're saying a high value woman? That's not a thing.
There's no such thing as a high value woman unless she's attached to a high value man.
Right.
And the reason for that is because all women have value, but not all men have value. Women are given their value up front, so therefore a high value woman only exists if she's with a high value guy. There's a reason why a woman wants to get married and take a man's last name and not the other way around.
Wait, you're very avoidant of the question. Wait, what is a high value woman?
Yeah.
I just told you, a woman that can lock down a high value man.
What is a high value man?
Yeah, I need description characteristics. It's just a high value woman is just someone who can lock down a high.
It's just because she's with a high value man?
A high value woman is a woman that is locked down by a high value man.
So you're telling me that I can't be a high value woman because I'm single?
Yeah, no.
Not at all.
Not even
really.
that
I
girl
take care
has
of
her own
myself.
business or her own
because your
thing
job,
going on.
well, men don't care about a woman's accolades and ability to create resources. Men typically don't care about that. Let's be honest here.
But I take care of myself.
I mean, like, I feel like it should matter to a certain point.
Do we operate on should, could, or what is?
No, because
you're saying hypotheticals here.
If you have a girl that takes care of her own with her own business, her own like education and
Men
stuff.
don't care about that.
So what do men care about?
Yeah, let us know. Let us know.
Things that you guys are conveniently trying to avoid that we're describing. For example, I just gave you guys the girl that was married, right, from 18 to 25, right, versus the girl that was single from 18 to 25. The woman that was married during that period of time is going to be more attractive to a majority of men because it was predictable what she was doing in that span of time. Who knows? Because maybe she was being a hoe without on the side and they didn't know. But on paper, she's more attractive than the woman that was single for 7 years. Because we know how women tend to operate when they're single for a prolonged period of time. And I look at it as a red flag. Wait, hold on. You're pretty and you've been single for 7 years. You weren't able to get a guy to commit to you? Yeah, something's wrong with you. Because a woman's job...
Who hurt you?
Here's the thing. A man's job is to attain the girl. The girl's job is to retain the man. So if a girl can't keep a boyfriend, that's very indicative of her ability to be a good mother, be a good girlfriend, maybe potentially be a good wife. So if she can't keep a guy, that's a big red flag to me.
So
you're saying a woman that's dressed nicely is
a woman's job to keep the man.
It's equal as a woman that's dressed, really bad. So when you see a girl at a club, you see a girl really nicely well dressed with her jewels on, and then you see another girl dressed up.
Why is she in the club?
No, I said club like as a regular random.
Let me address her thing before her. You don't think it's the woman's job to keep the guy?
No.
I think it's an
equal thing. Yeah, it's equal.
Like,
you put to make each other happy.
I think going back to what you were saying.
Let me ask you this. Are there more attractive women or attractive men?
Attractive women.
But women also put more effort.
For sure, there's more attractive women than men.
Yeah, for sure.
So there's more attractive women than attractive men.
Definitely.
So obviously, if you look at the law of supply and demand, that means that the man is in demand because there's less of him, correct? Mm-hmm. So therefore, who has the leverage?
It's not about that, though.
We're going to see. This is what I mean when I say women lack logic. So supply and demand. No. Hold on. If there are more beautiful women than attractive men,
but why is beauty what you're going after? There should.
It's the first thing that you see from a person,
that's
though.
Because that's the main.
It's the first thing that you see from a person.
God fucking damn.
It has beauty.
Men and women are not the same. Men value beauty. Women value competence and confidence and ambition. We're not the same.
Yeah.
Men don't give a shit about a woman's ability to earn money, her status, her resources. Men typically don't care about this. What comes first is her femininity and her beauty and her youth and her chastity. That's what men care about. Okay? So now that we figured out what men actually want, do you think that there's more women that have these traits or more men that have the other traits that I explained? There's obviously more women that have the traits that I was talking about. So therefore, there's less men to go around, which means the men have the leverage. So what I'm saying is that if you got a guy that's a winner, it's your job to keep him because there's more beautiful women than there are higher status men that are attractive. So the man has the leverage. So it's your job to keep the guy. That's why I look at a girl, if she's not able to keep a guy, she's effectively a failure.
So a high value man can go into a club and be high value and have a night with his boys. And he can be high value, but a girl that's just dancing with her friends is not high value just because she's at the club.
A component that men find attractive in women is chastity, okay? And her image. A girl going to the club and hanging out and twerking with her friends or doing whatever she does, it'll hurt her image.
Oh, wait, so tell me.
Okay.
Wait, sorry, pause. Why can't you do that with your girls at home?
I do that at home.
Oh, wait, so you
saying women should be locked inside?
With my husband there.
CDJs at home.
He's the bottle service.
I have dance parties at my house, but sometimes being at home, it's like you can't stay at home because it'll feel claustrophobic. And sometimes those girls want to see new music, support our friends.
Sometimes I just want to be called
friends are artists, like me as a musician, for example. I have friends who play DJ sets, and I just want to support.
Yeah, but it's not about you though. Like most girls, like for example, right? I just want to go out to a club, dance with my girls, boom, boom. Like, why can't you do that shit at home?
Let me tell you, most girls don't go. Okay, go ahead.
In Hialeah, that these girls, they stay at home. They're like, okay, they go to the backyard and they chill and they stay at home. And if you notice, they have they stay together with their man. But most girls, and especially in South Beach, they be in clubs and they got a man at home. Like, why is that? And I see them just leave the club with club promoters. They leave with blue check artists. I sing all the times.
It must not be a dream at home, because if they were happy at home, then they would stay at home with their man.
No, but
why isn't their man taking them out?
No, the thing is they're happy at home, but the man isn't taking them out because the nigga has to work. Like, think about it, right? Because come on, man, he's working, he's paying your bills and shit. Oh, baby, can I come? It's Monday night. Let's go out to a club. This nigga's tired, man.
Well, I feel like, if you're dating a high value man and it's a Monday night, you would be considerate of his schedule. You know what I mean?
But most girls are.
Okay. Saturday night.
What about you? You were trying to say something before. I want to make sure you get your piece in. No, her.
Okay. Me?
Yeah, you were saying something about business accolades, something like that.
I mean, like, because I was saying, you're saying business, like the value of a woman comes with, their chastity and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Whatever. So if a girl has her own business, has her own thing going on, you said that it didn't matter. Why doesn't it matter?
Because if I had a woman that made $500,000 a year, but she was on OnlyFans, or maybe she had a promiscuous past and everything else like that, right? But she made $500,000 a year and she had a business, versus I got a girl that's at McDonald's that's a virgin. I'm taking the virgin every single day.
So, okay. So you're gonna take that, but at the same time,
hold on. No.
At the same time, women.
Let that sink in. Hold on. Let that sink in. A woman that's an entrepreneur making $500,000 a year. That's on OnlyFans. That might.
Why OnlyFans? Why is that the only way a woman can make money?
Her own business.
What if I own a boutique? I sell little T-shirts.
All right, whatever it is. So, a boutique, OnlyFans. It could be sex work. It could be entrepreneur.
How am I supposed to take care of myself?
How many women are actually sex workers?
It doesn't matter. The point I'm trying to make is, you take that girl that's making $500,000 a year, that's an entrepreneur, that's successful, and then you take a girl working at McDonald's that's 21, that's a virgin. Most guys are going to opt for the girl that works at McDonald's.
That's insane.
Why? Rephrase your question.
Not most guys, honestly.
You just asked all of us.
Some guys are going to be like, okay, not most guys, because I feel like some guys are going to be like, oh, I don't want like a broke bitch. I want a girl that's in her money.
Wait, no, why? Because you're about your money. Because you said earlier, you said, "Oh, what if a bitch? I'm a boss bitch. I have this going on." And a guy knows that. No.
I did not say that.
That's what you said. Well, guys, the same vibe you have, right? Guys know that shit. You know what? She's a boss bitch. I'm gonna say what I'm gonna say just to fuck you. And then they fuck you and they fucking leave you afterwards. They pump and dump you.
So what makes you think that I don't want to fuck him and dump him also?
I mean,
I can't have casual sex just like you guys do.
Oh yeah, listen, if we start fucking, I win.
We're both getting an orgasm though.
Okay, women can't sport fuck like men can. Like, look,
we're both winning.
I get what you're saying, but like, women are not built to sport fuck like men can. Like, you might be able to have casual sex here and there, but you can't do it to the same level as a man without having emotional attachment. Sex is very emotional for most women, and they have issues with it. Okay, so you can say, oh well, I can have casual sex too. That's fantastic, but you can't do it at the same level as a guy.
I have heard that before.
Okay, all right.
So so since women are not built for casual sex, that's why men have an issue with women that have a lot of casual sex, because we know that y'all are not built for it.
You're not.
It goes against your very nature. You can bring one kid to term per year. I could bring many kids. I could bust nuts everywhere, but you can only bring one kid to term per year.
Everywhere.
Women are way more sexually selective than men are. So when a girl is promiscuous or a slut, guys don't like that. That's why I'm telling you, if a girl makes $500,000 a year and she's super successful, but she has a shady past, a man's going to go for that 21-year-old that works at McDonald's that's a bum but a virgin, because men value purity in women.
Yeah.
Wait, but I just want to say, like, I think we're stepping into like a generation of guys who expect girls to have money and pay for them and to a lot of things. It's not the same anymore.
And do you want those guys? Hold on.
Sassy.
Did you not say earlier that those guys aren't attractive?
Correct.
Okay then. So who cares?
But you keep also...
The men that you guys want, the guys that you think are super masculine, dominant, attractive, assertive, etc., those guys want girls that aren't hoes.
Yeah.
Okay, sure, I agree. But you keep saying that, for your analogy, it's either the McDonald's worker who's, 21 years old and is a virgin, but every time you go to the other option, you add in that noting that, like, she sleeps around or she has a shady past. You keep assuming she may.
But it's like,
you're right. It's very hypothetical.
It's definitely red flags, though. It's red flags, more or less.
So if you're gonna make a hypothetical scenario like that, it has to be either a 21-year-old McDonald's worker who's a virgin.
I'm using extremes to demonstrate the point.
But it's not. What's the extreme on the other side? Is that
the extreme is to show you that men don't care about a woman's ability to provide security and resources.
So
that's why I'm using that example.
Is what you're saying out of that analogy, out of that scenario?
The scenario I'm giving is to display men's lack of care for a woman's ability to create resources.
So you would choose a girl that's sleeping in her car than a girl that has her own apartment and, you know, her own stuff going on.
If the girl is, a man will go ahead and deal with a girl that's absolutely broke if she has a clean past.
Yeah. My point is, you keep saying that
how are you going to disagree with what men want?
Why would you even approach it?
I think it doesn't make sense.
Are you a dude?
Are you a man?
Maybe I was.
It's incredible to me how I'm telling you, like I'm telling women what men want, and then they're sitting here telling me like, oh, it shouldn't be that way. Or, that's not true.
Isn't that what the podcast is for, though? To like share our viewpoints.
No.
And there's only two of you guys.
Yeah,
so
but your viewpoints are incorrect.
Yeah.
No, but that's what.
But you can't say that.
I mean, yours are correcting your mind, but ours are correcting our mind.
Literally.
But he asked you earlier, like, would you fuck a certain type of guy, and then you was like, no. So he knows you better than you know yourself.
Disagree.
Wait, but I also
disagree? Okay.
I think as a girl, if a guy tells you, I mean, we're kind of talking about this earlier, but I think as a guy, if he says that he slept around with all these women, to me, that's also unattractive.
Yeah, but most girls won't break up with him though.
Won't break up with him.
Yeah,
I won't even start the relationship to begin with.
There's
Like,
no
you told me
breaking up.
you have all these bodies in the past couple of years.
So when you're in a club around, you know.
So wait, hold on. Do you think a woman that has sex with a bunch of men is the same as a man who has sex with a bunch of women?
Well, you just said in your analogy, you're saying that
Well,
the
I'm
other
asking
woman
you,
is
do you think it's the same?
unattractive. Say that one more time. So
Do you think a woman that's had sex with a lot of men is the equivalent to a man that's had sex with a lot of women?
Yeah, it's unattractive on both ends.
Yeah, there you go. That's where this fallacy is
I
coming
wouldn't
from.
want a man who slept around with a bunch of bitches the same way you wouldn't want a woman who slept around with a bunch of men. For you specifically. To other people, that might not matter. Because I know people who are like, I don't care about body.
This is incredible. They really are unaware.
No, yeah, I know.
This is wild.
I know. This is why.
So
I mean, it all comes
you
to
do realize that
preference.
for a man to have sex with a lot of women, he's got to have value, correct?
Okay. But for a woman to have sex with a lot of men,
It takes no skill.
No value?
No skill.
Nah,
You
I
can
do
literally
agree.
go into a club. Like, come on, man.
That's true.
Are y'all
It's
fucking
way
serious?
easier
I
for us
agree.
to get laid.
Ladies, like,
It is
divorce your
true.
feelings from the conversation. Let's have a real conversation here. Think about it. Let's use logic and common sense. Why are hoes admonished? Because it's easy for them to have sex and they don't exercise any discretion. However, why are men that have sex with a lot of women respected? Because it's difficult to attract women and have sex with them as a man. Men have to provide value to be attractive to get the girl. Women just exist and they get the guy. So women that exercise sexual temperance are considered high value, right? Or excuse me, are considered valuable to men. And men that can have sex with a lot of women are considered valuable in society because it's not easy for men to get laid. You guys can go into a club right now, all of y'all, and some dude will still talk to you. If I go into the club and go, I'm going to get arrested. So it's like you cannot sit there and conflate female sexuality to male sexuality. If a man's having sex with a lot of women, he's doing something right by definition. If a woman's having sex with a bunch of dudes, she's doing something wrong by definition.
Correct.
So, but don't you say that there's more attractive men to women ratio, and there's more women than
No,
men,
there's more
period.
attractive women to men.
He said woman.
More attractive women.
Yeah.
Sorry, more attractive women to men. But you say that we just pretty much get it all the time, right? So technically, we have more options.
Yeah, but those options are fleeting because it's not the men that you want.
Okay.
I mean, how many guys come up to you and talk to you that you reject? Probably 90% plus?
Yeah.
So therefore, you have more options, but how many real viable options do you have? Not many.
You're right.
So that's why it's easy for us to go on a girls trip, is because we recognize that value in a guy. Where I'm like, if you're coming up to me at a club and you're the 17th guy, and I'm just gonna keep saying,
You're not the one.
I got a
We're
boyfriend,
used to
or I
turning
gotta-"
men down.
Yeah, it's so easy for us to turn someone down if we're just
Having
Yeah,
fun.
but
Where
here's the
men
thing.
are seeking.
At some point, you're going to get hit on enough. If your girl's, I mean, we can do the math. If your girl gets hit on 10 times a day via Instagram, out and about, etc.
Yeah, very much.
10 times 365. Do the math. What is that? 360,000 times a year?
You think just because you're the 11th guy that hit me that day, I'd be like, oh, my fine. I give up. I've already
It's not that. It's not that. But out of those men, there's going to be a percentage of them that are attractive. And if you just do simple math, there's going to be a chance.
It's not about your physical attraction. Like, I'm not just gonna be like, oh yeah, I might keep fucking this guy just because he gave me like a gut. You know, it's not that. It doesn't matter
Because you keep everything that I talk about, you keep bringing back to yourself.
Yeah.
Because I'm just thinking from my own personal
Yeah, of
opinion.
course.
I mean, that's all we can really think of about that.
Yeah, no, we know.
I can't speak for every single girl here because we might have different
So
personalities.
would it be fair to say then that your rebuttals are limited to your own personal experience?
Yeah,
because I can only speak onto my experience.
Okay, well, the world doesn't revolve around you. So just because
but you're speaking about it. You're speaking about men in general too, and women in general.
Very simple, and we think the same.
Yeah, and women are complicated.
Like men are very, very simple and easy to understand.
Do you think women are complicated?
And what?
Do you think women are complicated?
All right, not really. They pretend to be, but they're not. Yeah, I mean, I've been able to predict everything you guys were going to say throughout the course of this conversation.
Well, because you've interviewed 2,500 girls.
And what I'm about to say now.
Because a lot of women have the same traits that you guys are displaying right now, an inability to have critical thinking skills.
And is that so bad?
An inability to, view the world from outside your own two eyes, a limited experience.
So, question: raise your hand if you want to be married. Right, up high, married, 4 to 5. So raise your hand if you're single. So why are you single?
I'm still in school, and I'd rather just focus on myself.
Okay.
Same reason. I work a lot.
Haven't met anybody that I would like to be with.
I'm scared of betrayal.
I have too many boyfriends.
Damn! At least she was honest.
So we have 3 boss babes, and then we got someone who
too many. I'm high and have options.
Emotional damage, and I don't know what she is, but yeah.
Emotional damage.
All right, so just out of curiosity, you guys said that you're focusing on your career and school and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Do you guys think you're more attractive now or when you're done with your career and school? And older.
Does that change?
I can't really say that. I don't know what I'll be like.
I'll never be done with my career.
No, but do you think you're more attractive right now or in 2 to 3 years when you're done with your career and making money?
I don't think I've reached my peak yet.
I don't think so either.
Wait, you're at 23?
23, yes.
You're at your peak right now.
Yeah, you are.
To you, but not to me. Yeah. I feel like I haven't reached my peak. Okay. You guys, boys might feel differently. That's fine.
How about this? Wouldn't it be fair to say that if you want to attract a man, you should know what men want typically?
Yeah.
Sure. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know.
So, like, for example, I want to play video games, and I just want to eat Cheetos and chill, right? I don't want to fucking go to work and
Is that high value, though?
What is your oldest?
Hold on.
Oh.
But notice, if I want to go ahead and be attractive to women, I have to play the game about what women find attractive, right?
Yeah, you do.
Playing Cheetos and eating Cheetos and playing video games all day and whacking off, that's not necessarily attractive. So I have to realign the way I do things if I want to be attracted to the opposite gender.
Yeah. But you guys are saying it as if I said I want to be married right now.
Yeah.
So when I want to be married, I will focus on what I need to do to attract a man. But as of right now, because that's not my goal, I don't care what attracts a man.
But at that time, you're like, you're so old, man. Like,
don't care. I guarantee you, I'll still find someone.
Old is in 2 years.
Don't know, but I guarantee you.
You won't find a guy that you want, actually. Because, for example, right now you're 23, you're hot, more or less. So if you was to find a guy, you have all the leverage right now at 23. Because in his head, he's thinking like, oh, shit, she's 23. So I have to have time to really work with her. But I won't lie to you, girls who are over 30, they're a pain in the ass to deal with.
So can I say something then? So if I'm doing something right now to attract a man, and hold on, I had a point where I was going.
No, I just find it, while you think of your thing, I just find it incredible that men have to understand women and do things to become attractive to women, but women are not willing to do what's required to be attractive to men. It's like, I'm going to date on my timeline, which is cool. You could date on your timeline, but just understand your first choice might not want you back in return.
Can I ask you a question? What is required for you for a woman to be attractive? So you're saying we're not doing what we should be to attract a man. What is that? What do you think I should be doing on my day-to-day? Not going to work as much as I do. I'm asking you. I'm
not saying that, but what I am saying is that women tend to prioritize things that aren't necessarily important to men.
So what should I not prioritize in my life? Like, I just told you everything about
your education.
I should not be prioritizing my education.
Your education and your education, your income, etc. These are not things that men typically care about.
So what if you leave us? What if you leave us? Right. What are we supposed to do if you leave us?
How am I supposed to take care of myself?
Men leave you?
Yeah, like what are we supposed to do then if we have no education?
Are you aware that women disproportionately initiate most breakups and divorces in America?
Doesn't matter. Yeah. What if you leave?
So you said it doesn't matter. Okay, so you said it doesn't matter, but how am I gonna be able to get rent? My car.
Yeah.
I mean, to be living with my mom, taking the bus, riding a bike.
Basing it off of
definitely not high value if I'm living with my mom.
Men aren't the ones initiating breakups. So realistically speaking, what do you mean it doesn't matter? That's absolutely matters.
But not every relationship.
That was the number one thing that you complained about.
Not every relationship has the girl broken up with the man. Sometimes
men don't leave, but they will definitely cheat before they leave.
He's saying
women
the majority
initiate
of the time,
80% plus.
That's fine, but what about the 20%?
Okay, so why
what am I supposed to do with myself? What if I'm a part of that 20%? where I didn't initiate the breakup? What am I supposed to do with myself if I did not build
it's your
that
fault
self?
that he broke up with you or something?
Yeah,
Well,
that's
yeah,
your
I mean, if a
problem.
guy breaks up with you fucked up.
Right.
To be honest.
Right.
So,
Men rarely
so
break up
you
with
have a
girls.
very narrow mindset.
So going.
Oh, hold on.
Damn,
It's not a narrow mindset.
So
it's
narrow.
looking at the numbers, figuring it out. If women are disproportionately ending relationships and marriages, etc., then that means that women have some kind of issue. It's not men ending it; it's women ending it.
Well, maybe women
How's that
don't really
narrow-minded?
care about relationship nowadays. Maybe women want to thrive in their own way.
For at least a little while. Like, I don't think I want to be thriving on my own way, but it's just I would rather build myself up so that I can pay rent, so that I can keep working.
Yeah, that's fine.
So that
Yeah,
I can
fine.
work on my
You can
career.
prove yourself.
But you're just, I'm sorry, like just going back on what you were saying. You think that I should live with my parents until I find my high value man to
Men
pay
will
for
find
my
that more
rent?
attractive, yeah.
To live with my parents at
So
23?
wait,
No.
so girls,
wait, hold on.
You guys are
question.
clueless.
Wait, I'm sorry, but
So
going back
question.
to
Y'all are
wait,
clueless.
hold on just one second. So you're just saying that might be more attractive to a man, but like I could not. I love my parents to death, but I could not, as a 23-year-old, live with my parents.
Yeah.
I have such a rigid schedule. I stick to a certain diet. I like to shop where I shop. I have my own schedule that doesn't match with my parents. So I live pretty far away from, 45 minutes is not super far, but like I like my distance. It makes me feel more adult. It forces me to
Grow up.
grow up, to build myself up. I would rather live on my own, but in order for me to do that, I have to build myself up. I have to work as much as I work. I have to get
Men don't
my
care about these things,
education.
though.
Right.
But
So
how
you're
many
saying-
men are going to take care of us?
Maybe
Like men don't, like, I get it that you're saying I have to build myself up and all this other stuff, but men don't care about that.
maybe we don't care what men think.
No, it's not that. It's
If
not
you want to
that.
lock
It's
one down, you
just-
should care what they think.
Maybe I
don't
don't
care
want to
what
lock
they
one
think.
down. Maybe I just want to
I think
thrive
it
in my
depends
own.
what point of
Streets
life
shall
you're at,
return.
though.
Okay.
Okay. So,
Maybe the streets are
Yeah,
not so
yeah,
bad
it's
after all.
If you're not concerned with what men want, then just be content with the fact that you're not going to be able to lock a guy down, and
And
you're just
that's
going to
totally fine.
be on the streets, and that's
because
fine.
not all about life is relationships and sex. Maybe
I mean,
there's
you are You're
self-actualization.
29.
I'm not worried.
You should be worried. Is what I'm saying.
Well, but I'm not, because that's not
Why
all
not?
that matters to me, because I have other goals besides
All right,
getting
so,
dick and
what are your
being married
goals?
and having a family.
Well, we know
Self-actualization.
that women typically are fulfilled through relationships with a man and a family, not through career and accomplishments.
Sometimes self-actualization is more fulfilling than having a family. There's other ways to leave a legacy in the world without having children or a husband.
How would you leave that legacy then?
How?
Through beautiful
Music?
music. Yeah, music. People get inspired by music. Whatever art, beautiful, like
Okay.
the community that you build around you, like the people that you can reach and the lives that you can change. It's not all about sex or
Okay.
family or marriage in the
That might
society
be for
anymore.
you, but I would argue most women would get most of their fulfillment from children and a family, not career and accomplishment.
Yeah.
I understand that, and I respect those women.
Okay,
And
that's the majority.
but again, you say society is changing now, and a lot of women now don't really care about that stuff no
And
more.
they're single. They're
Yeah, social
coping.
norms don't
Yeah.
adhere to biological reality. So, for example,
Yeah.
let's be honest here, right? So, we live in a world where there's police out there, you have the welfare state, you have all these things to take care of you, etc. So, why do women still want a guy that's taller than them? Why do women still want a guy that's stronger than them? Why do they want a guy that's still confident and ambitious and muscular? Why do they want a guy that's, has competence?
Yep.
Well, it's because in your bird brain, right, in your
Reptile
hindbrain, you still are attracted to these things. So even though you have all these modern conveniences that take care of security, provisioning, etc., you still want a man to have these things.
Yep.
So I always say biology overrides social norms.
Yeah, we are animals at the end of the day. We all gotta get our own significant other at some point or another.
Yeah.
But I'm saying that in this society, it's not a priority for a lot of women. I'm not talking about me, because I'm really like a sentimental person. So I really want to have somebody that I can share my thoughts and my ideas and my life with. But some women don't prioritize that and say,
And-
"Oh, I'm just gonna be alone for the rest of my life."
No. Well, those women think they can push their, their age to a certain extent. Like, for example, you three of me want to be boss babes, right? Now, all of a sudden, you're 35, and then you're like, you know what? Now I want a man. We've had women on this panel that cried, you know what? If I was 22, 23, 24, I would take everything, I did backwards just to actually improve, to be a better wife, a future wife. Because at the end of the day, like, you girls are like, you know what, I'm gonna be a boss babe and then look for a man. You girls should be in training right now to look for a man, because a guy sees you and say, all right, cool. Why should I hire you to be my wife? Like, why should I choose you to be my wife? And you're like, fuck, I don't care, fuck that. I'm in the club where girls trip, 3 of us out here tripping. That's like, then he sees you, he's like, you know what? I'm gonna fuck her, but like, she has no qualities to be a wife.
I mean, to a certain extent, I will sometimes think about going back and changing some of the things that I've done in the past, but those things that I've gone through made me mold myself into the person I am today and actually realize what I'm doing right or what I'm doing wrong. Some women be like, oh, I wish I could go back.
Yeah, but
why would you go back? You already did it.
Yeah, but most girls aren't as young as you right now. Right now, you're 22, right? Like, you still, and you're attractive, more or less. But it's one of
excuse me?
Yeah, more or less. But it's one of those things where the more you talk, it's like I hear you, I'm like, all right, cool, I'm talking. But it's like, it's one of those things where you have to realize, start young. Like, don't wait till you're 30 and then all of a sudden, like biology is kicking you in the fucking womb. Right? Well, womb, ovaries, I don't know.
Not everybody grows in the same pace. I feel like some...
Listen, everyone, if I have a daughter, I'm like, yo, you have to fucking do the shit. Like, be a wife early. Like, train for this shit. I will put her through the Olympics.
Not everybody has that paternal figure, though.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, just my advice to give most women is to do that. You 3 want to be boss babes. Like, that's cool and everything. But like, why even go towards that route if guys don't give a fuck? Like what he said. Like, I don't give a fuck.
All right, let's make this simple for the ladies so they can understand it. Did you have something before I go into this? Yeah, go ahead, please.
So like, then why are we so your analogy that you used earlier, like why are we starting at 18? Like I'm still, no matter that I'm legal now, I still have like a very girl mindset. Like that's when you're just finishing school, everything. Like you haven't even tried to be a woman yet necessarily. Like you haven't gone out into the world. You don't know what it's like yet. I feel like right now where I'm at, like 23, I feel like this is like the most, obviously because it is the most grown I've been, but I feel the most grown that I've been. Like at 18, my mindset was not marriage, this, that, and the third. It's, oh my God, I just graduated high school.
And think about
Congrats to me.
Sorry.
But now I'm like out of college, I'm working. It's like, okay, now I can look for these things. Like just using your specific analogy, like at this age, I think this would be my best age to possibly do what you're saying.
And as an 18-year-old, who are you supposed to be dating? Guys that are older? Or like, think about guys
I was
at 18.
using extreme to illustrate a point, but we'll continue.
But so, am I supposed to be dating people as an 18-year-old? Are you supposed to be dating somebody that's older? Because how many high-value guys do you know that are 18 years old?
7 to 10 years above you,
But all you really know, like if you're thinking about 18 years old, that's high school. All you know is high schoolers. How am I supposed to go out as an 18-year-old and meet a guy who's
I can't even get
20-something who's a high value.
That's a blank slate. You know what I'm saying? I used to be a teacher. I taught high school, and the high school girls who are 18 right now, like both of you guys, like girls think the same.
You guys are reading way too much into the 18. We're doing this to display an extreme example, but the point I'm trying to make here is not necessarily the age. It's that men value innocence. You understand?
Yeah.
Men
because
value
they want to groom
innocence.
them.
Sure.
Okay. Well, I wouldn't say groom. I would say coach her to be. You got to train her to be a good girlfriend.
That's grooming.
What's your definition of innocence?
No bodies.
Not having trauma.
Literally zero bodies.
Like having less bodies, having less trauma. I mean,
emotional damage.
If you guys want to call it grooming, you can call it grooming, but I consider it training because I think for a girl to be the best girlfriend to you have to train her to be the best woman that she could be. Women need leadership. So a woman without instruction is headed for destruction.
So what's the difference between training and grooming, in your opinion, then?
Well, training, there's a purpose at the end, right? If I told you, hey, you're going to go ahead and compete in this sporting event in 6 months from now, you would be training every day for that event, correct? To be at your best for that event, correct? I think look at it the same way for a woman. She needs to train to be her best for that man. You know, I find it absolutely ludicrous that women are willing to go to a job and train for a job or train at the gym or train for all these other things that institutions that don't necessarily give a fuck about her. But if I say, hey, you should be training for your man, they look at me like I'm crazy and that's misogynistic. No, the man is probably going to be the most important component in your life because that's going to lead you to a family. That's going to lead you to overall happiness. That's going to lead you to overall satisfaction. Women don't derive satisfaction from success and money. They derive it through family and children.
Yep.
When two men meet, they shake hands and share what is your career. When two women meet, they hug and say, do you have a family? Do you have kids?
Yep.
So men and women are not the same. So I look at it like that's what women should be prioritizing because you have a finite amount of time. And I'm going to ask you guys this. Let's say you have a 21-year-old woman and a 21-year-old man. Both parties make $100,000 per year. Who has more power in the sexual marketplace or the dating marketplace? The man or the woman?
The woman.
21 years old. The woman. Cool. 25 years old. Both make $100,000 per year. Who has more power in the dating marketplace, the man or the woman?
The woman.
Okay. What are you shaking?
I have no idea.
I'm gonna say the man.
I'm gonna say, I was gonna say the man.
I think the man at any age with
well, it's arguable. It's arguable that it could be both. But okay, 30 years old. Both of them make $100,000 per year. Who has more value in the dating marketplace, the man or the woman?
The woman.
You think the man now?
I think man.
I feel like, yeah.
I'm
starting to shift a bit. Okay, 35 years old. Both making $100,000 per year. Who has more command in the dating marketplace at this point, the man or the woman?
Always the woman. As long as the woman makes the same amount as a man, she will always have more power than.
Okay. Anyway, so the rest of you think it's the man, right? Okay. Now 40 years old. 40 years old making $100,000 per year. Both. Who has more power in the dating game, the man or the woman?
I'm always gonna stick with man.
The man, right? Yeah. Okay. And as I go up in 5-year increments, will the woman ever overtake the man?
I would say no.
No, right?
No.
So wouldn't it be fair to say that you have a finite amount of time to find the best guy that you can? About a 10-year window, based on what we just talked about.
So what's that window, between 20 to 30?
Yes. And you guys just literally agreed with me.
Well, that should be
Shout out to Kevin Samuels.
That should be when girls gonna get married.
Like I literally just proved it just now. Like in every scenario, the woman has the leverage in her 20s, and then as you get to 30, the man starts to get the leverage, and it never comes back to the female.
But I think that's fine when we start increasing the age. But you guys, as guys, have to give us that time to build ourselves. Is what I'm saying. Like you're making it from 18 to 22, but I think we should be focusing on ourselves at that point. And then once
but this isn't my opinion. They polled men from 18 to 60 years old, and they found that men universally,
I'm just saying
regardless
what
of culture,
I think it should be is what I'm saying.
Who cares what you think it should be? I'm telling you what is. Like this. Hold on. This is a terrible thing that women typically do. Oh, I don't like these rules. I'm gonna change them. What? It should be like this.
Let's do it.
You know what? How about this? Y'all should go ahead and date homeless guys that are 5'2".
Go ahead.
That's how it should be. They should get a chance too.
Go do it.
Come on, man.
Go.
Give them a chance.
It sounds like you want to date the
all these
homeless
guys,
women.
No. Like, because I'm literally just using your analogy. Like you're saying, oh, it shouldn't be that way. But by the same accord, I could say, y'all should go ahead and give short guys a chance. Y'all should give broke guys a chance. Y'all should give all these guys that aren't necessarily the most attractive a chance. But you don't though.
But we do though.
Not really.
But
no, we do.
You're single.
Yes.
So like I find it incredible how girls don't like the rules and then they think that society should bend to their whim on what they want. And I'm telling you, you guys would never do that for us.
Yeah.
Would you date a homeless woman?
Men and women aren't the same.
Would you date a homeless woman?
Yeah, it's
yes or no.
I'm just asking a question. I don't want you to get frustrated. Both
of y'all can answer.
Would you date a homeless person?
Listen, if she's homeless and I'm making money, like just
there's
be my
no
home.
way.
Why is she homeless? Why is she homeless?
Listen, it doesn't matter.
What's her background? What's her baggage?
This is incredible.
You know what? It's rare to meet a woman who's homeless nowadays.
It's hot
rare.
to you?
It's
You
rare.
like that?
Okay,
There's a reason why.
No, it's not rare. Actually, there's a lot of homeless people.
There's a reason why a man that's a king can marry a peasant and turn her into a queen, and doesn't work the other way around. Like if the girl's attractive and not a whore, like yeah, that guy will take her in probably. But it won't work the other way around. That's my point.
How is she attractive if she's? I mean, she doesn't have the abilities that what?
Huh?
Never mind, go ahead.
How is a homeless person who doesn't have
this is
the
an extreme
abilities to like, take care of herself? I mean, it is very extreme. It's a very hypothetical.
The point I'm trying to illustrate is that men don't care about women's resources in general. That's all I'm trying to highlight.
I mean, but why is it extreme when we ask for it, but it's not extreme when you ask if we would date a homeless man?
Because y'all would. I'm trying to illustrate that her situation was wild because she said, well, it shouldn't be that way that men prefer younger women. And then I countered with saying, well, it shouldn't be that way that women want shorter guys. They want taller guys. So, like, I can't sit around and change the rules on what women want. Like, so why is it that women think that they could change the rules on what men want?
I don't think we can change the rules. It's just what we.
So then, why
prefer.
are you saying should?
Because I have an opinion, just like everybody else.
All right, well, it's not going to change, though.
That's fine. I didn't say let's change it right now. I just said what I.
It's never going to change.
Yeah. That's okay. You're not hearing me. I'm just saying what I would prefer.
Okay.
If you're giving hypotheticals, I think she was just trying to give another hypothetical.
It's just,
okay.
A hypothetical that is not based in reality whatsoever.
But going back, okay, so forget the should. You're right. It shouldn't. If your whole hold on, I'm not.
Erase it from your mind.
Okay, so your whole niche, right, is that you're trying to teach these guys that are watching your podcast and everything how they should like. Go back to what you were saying. Your purpose really is that you're trying to teach guys how to be these high value men so that they can like. So if this is, I need to form my thought here because we just discussed so much.
That's for the daytime show. The nighttime show just goes to illustrate how delusional females are.
Wait,
you guys have done a fantastic job.
I just have one
proving.
question, and I have nothing else to like say about it.
I
Do you
mean,
guys consider yourself high value men?
I mean, what do you think?
No. I'm asking you.
We can answer after you answer. Go ahead.
No. It's you guys. See, here's the thing. You don't call yourself that. It's just how people view you.
Yeah.
If you view me that way, that's one thing. If you don't, then that's fine.
I would
Hold on.
still
So
wanna
answer
know.
for each other. Do you think he is a high value man and vice versa?
It's fine. We don't even.
It's the perception.
But you guys don't want to answer.
Don't look at each other's eyes and be like, all right, let's agree.
Because you're supposed to display the characteristics, and it's on the people to assume or not assume that you fit a certain metric. Saying that I'm an alpha male, blah blah. No, you don't categorize yourself in that category. People do it for you based on how they perceive you.
Not
How
alpha
about it's
male,
the way you
high
feel about
value.
yourself that matters?
I'm just giving an example.
No.
Wait. So you're not going to answer the question?
You're
Do you
not going to
consider yourself high value?
Yeah.
That's just a
Do you
simple
have
question.
those
I mean,
characteristics that you
Once
would
again,
think?
the people, because end of the day, if someone views you as high value, then it's
Okay, so do most people consider you high value?
If you had to imagine your characteristics in somebody else,
No. Do most
I don't know.
people,
Fantastic
from what you've
deflection.
heard,
Yeah.
do most
Fantastic
people
deflection.
it's not
consider you?
deflection. It's
It
just
is
a
deflection.
curiosity. Like, do you find yourself high value? It's a yes or no.
That's not on me to
positive.
answer.
But
That's
do
on
okay,
the
so what
public
you've
to-
heard, about yourself, do you consider?
Oh,
do most
yeah,
people
him?
consider you?
It's on them to pick.
Misogyny?
I don't get it.
But you've heard what people have said about you. So do you consider yourself high value based off of what other
It
people
depends
have
on the
said?
individual. Everybody
hard
has
to
their own
All
take.
right, you're going
Somebody
around
who knows
circles.
you, somebody who knows you well, would you think they would consider you a high value man?
That depends on them.
All right, just
It depends on who you
that's
ask.
the question.
Who knows him real good? I can answer
It
that
depends
for
on who you
you.
ask.
Because
Okay,
if,
I'm asking Chris. Hey,
no,
Chris.
I mean, listen, Martin does well, man. That's all I can say.
So yes.
Does men what? Does well
well.
financially?
I mean, we're kind of diverting from the topic at hand. You were saying something. You were going to ask a question, and you're saying like, "Hey, you teach guys how to be, get their shit together, whatever." Yeah, that's during the daytime shows. The nighttime shows, honestly, are to show men that women are fairly delusional with their worldviews.
Yeah.
And you go to sleep peacefully at night thinking that.
I mean, there's been a pattern shown that a lot of women lack critical thinking skills. I mean, I'm telling you guys things that are objectively true with how men view women and dating and relationships. And you guys, instead of saying, oh, you know what, I can understand that perspective, it's, well, I don't think it should be that way, or I disagree. And I've been saying things that are objectively fact in general, and you guys disagree with it. I'm kind of like, okay.
Can I add something? You say what I agree, men and women are not the same.
Yeah.
So maybe some of us may not be completely rational or not rational, but completely logical or critical thinking. But
I think that's been self-explanatory.
I think a lot of men are not very emotionally intelligent, and that's something that women actually have.
Define emotional intelligence.
Like in tune with people's empathy, and for example,
women-
I think an emotionally intelligent